Well, in number 6, we've got an equation that involves fractions. I'm not going to worry about the fractions right now. We'll just see if they add up nicely. All right, so the first thing I notice is that I've got a's on both sides. So let's choose a side on which we want the a's. Now, I typically like to get the a's on the side where I have the most of them already. Now, it doesn't matter which side, but that's just my preference. So over on the left side, I've got 1/4 of an A. And on the right side, I've got more, right? I've got double that. I've got 1/2 of an A. I have more A's on the right than I do to the left. So I'm going to get all the A's on the right side. So that means that we have to eliminate this one. Now I got 1/4 of an A. If I subtract 1/4 of an A, I'll have no more A's on that side, right? So here's my plan. I'm going to subtract, I'm just going to write down what I'm doing here. I'm going to subtract 1/4 A from both sides. Now, if I'm just working this problem myself, I'm not going to write down subtract 1/4 A. But that's what I'm thinking. Matter of fact, I'll even put that in my brain there. All right, so it's going to look like this. 1/4 A plus 1/2 minus 1/4 A equals 1/2 A plus 5/2 minus 1/4 A. Now, over here on the left, 1/4 A minus 1/4 A is 0. That's gone. So I'm not going to write the 0. I'm just going to write what's left here, 1/2. Right? 1/4 A minus 1/4 A is 0. That's gone. I get 1/2 is equal to, now over here, I get 1/2 A minus 1/4 A. Now, if you want to, you can write it like this. 1/2 A, no, I'm not going to write it like that, sorry. What I'm going to write instead is this. I'm going to convert to a common denominator. Now, a common denominator between 2 and 4 is 4, right? Both these numbers, 2 and 4, go into 4. To get from 2 to 4, I have to multiply by 2. So I'll multiply the bottom by 2, the top by 2. So what I'm getting here is, I'm going to write it 1 times 2 over 2 times 2A plus 5/2 minus 1/4 A. Now, next line, I have 1/2 is equal to, now right here, 1 times 2 is 2 on the top, 2 times 2 is 4 on the bottom, A, plus 5/2 minus 1/4 A. Okay, now I've got common denominators, so I can see what I've got here. So this will be 1/2 is equal to, now, 2/4, I have 2/4 of an A, and then I'm going to subtract 1/4 of an A. So 2/4 minus 1/4 leaves 1/4. So we will have 1/4 A plus 5/2. Now, I've almost got that A isolated. Let's eliminate that 5/2. So it's positive 5/2. I've added 5/2. Let's subtract 5/2. So it'll look like this. 1/2 minus 5/2. That's equal to 1/4 A. Now, over here, 1/2 minus 5/2, I'll do it just right up here. This is equal to, all right, 1 minus 5/2 is equal to 1/4 A. Well, that's negative 4 over 2 is equal to 1/4 A. And now what I'm going to do is eliminate this 1/4. I just want a 1 there. Now, we're dividing by 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. It'll look like this. Negative 4/2 times 4 equals 1/4 times 4, 1/4 A times 4. All right, what do we get here? Negative 4 times 4 is 16. 16 over 2 is 8. So I get negative 8 is equal to, those 4's cancel, and I'm left with just A. So I'm going to claim that A is equal to negative 8. Now, that's one way to do this problem. Here is another way that I think is going to be more useful for us. So let's start here with the equation again. 1/4 A plus 1/2 equals 1/2 A plus 5/2. Now, back in the first method, we worked with these fractions all the way through, right? All the way through, I had to deal with those fractions until the very end. In this case, why don't we eliminate the fractions right up front? So I'm going to eliminate the fractions right away. And here's how I'm going to do this. Look at the denominators. The denominators are 4, 2, 2, and 2. Now, what is the LCD? Now, the LCD is the lowest common denominator, and I get that by looking at this. What is the smallest number that all of these, this one, this one, this one, and this one, divide into? Okay, so I'm saying this. All divide into 4. All right, so that's the LCD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. All right, so when you have an equation with fractions, see if you can get the LCD and then multiply both sides by 4. Now I'm going to indicate what I'm doing here. I'm going to multiply that whole left side by 4. Now, if I'm just doing this myself, I may not actually write this step. This is a step I think you can skip. But I'm going to write it so you can see what it is that we're doing. All right, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So now I'm going to use the distributive property. I'm going to multiply the 4 into here and then into here. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be 4 dot times 1/4 A plus, now bring that 4 over through here, 4 dot 1/2. Now do it to the right side. 4 into the 1/2 is going to be 4 dot 1/2 A plus, and then finally over here, we'll get 4 dot 5/2. Now, all the denominators should cancel. This is how we're going to eliminate them right away. So look what happens here. That 4 cancels with that 4, and I'm just left with 1A. Right? Do you see it? Those 4's cancel. I'm left with 1A, which is just A. Now, what about the next term? In the next term, the 2 will divide evenly into the 4, so I'll get this. 2 will go into 4 twice, and then I get 2 times 1. That's just it, right? 2 times 1, which is 2. All right, so we will get plus, right from there, 2. Right, and 4 times 1/2, half of 4 is 2, equals. Now on the right side, just like before, the 2 will go into the 4 twice, and we will be left with 2 times 1, which is 2A. Right, so we get a 2A now, and then plus, and finally that last one, what happens in this last one here? That 2 will go into that 4 twice, and then I get 2 times 5. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. So we're getting close. No more fractions. Now again, we've got A's on both sides, so choose a side. Now, just me, I like to get the A's on the side on which I have more already. On the left side, I have 1. On the right side, I have 2. So I'm going to get them on the right side. So let's eliminate this one. I got a positive A, so my plan is to subtract A. Now let's just do this, okay? I'm not going to write this step. I'm just going to subtract A, so keep it in your head. A minus A is 0, it's gone. That was the whole point. 2 equals, now right here, I'm subtracting A, remember? So I get 2A minus A. So if I get 2 A's and I subtract 1, I'm left with 1. So A, and then I still have that plus 10. All right, one more step, I think, here. I have to get rid of that plus 10, so it's plus 10. So why don't we subtract 10? All right, so I'm going to get, I'll write it here. 2 minus 10 equals A plus 10 minus 10. So over here we get negative 8 is equal to 10 minus 10 will cancel, and I just get A out of this. And that's exactly what I got over here. All right, so 2 ways to do this problem. My preference is that we start doing it the second way, because when we get longer algebraic expressions, it will be to our advantage to use this method.